we rolling?
Yeah. That was really good, man.
Thank you. How are the levels sounding? Everything good?
Yeah, it does sound pretty good. I'm gonna turn you down just a little bit.
You're just gonna turn me down like that? Okay.
It sounds really good, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I was working on that all week.
Yeah, I love the harmonica.
Yeah, I think it's properly rated. I was gonna say it's underrated, but I think honestly it gets a pretty good reputation.
Yeah,
it comes
I think
right
so.
through in the mix every single time.
It does, and it sounds good.
Yeah, most of the time.
I love how harmonica microphones sound. It like really, compresses the sound a lot, and it just sounds so cool.
Is that an actual microphone?
A harmonica? Yeah.
Her microphone?
Yeah. My buddy Anson used to use that as just like a regular microphone. It just like it compresses the sound. It just sounds cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. You learn something new every day. I'm feeling very optimistic headed into week 4.
Oh, that's great. You've been a little pessimistic.
Yeah, I know. And people were saying things. Obviously, the ratings on the first couple of episodes
they're plummeting.
Dude, I mean, okay. We don't really have to mention how they're plummeting because the bright side of this whole thing was, they soared to the top before they plummeted. And the thing here is like even if you're down back at the bottom.
Yeah.
If you've been up top, you still have the benefit of knowing what it's like to be up there. So we're coming right back.
We're making a turnaround. We're making a comeback. This is our comeback episode.
Yeah, this is like
This is the comeback episode.
This is like the episode where like we make a comeback,
Yeah, yep. Yeah, and Nate's going to save us.
Yeah, we brought in an expert.
He is one with a lot of energy.
Yeah, he does have a lot of charisma that he's going to bring into the studio here, and.
But I don't want to like set these high expectations for him, No,
we don't want to set high expectations. It's just like
this is Nate. This is who he is, and this is who he is.
This is who he is.
Regardless, that's what we're gonna get.
We are who we are. We just make observations. We just tell the truth.
Yeah, Nate's. I love Nate. Like whenever he's around, he's just he lights up a room. He can talk to. He's very friendly with everybody.
Except the Jews. He has a real problem with.
I don't know why you always gotta do something like that.
I don't know. It's just he has an issue with them. I don't know.
Well,
something about the weather.
No. What? Well, as long as I've known Nate, he has been.
Maybe he's turned a new leaf.
He's been. Do you know what is a? Yeah. Now Nate loves all people.
Yeah, we think.
He doesn't discriminate. Yeah, that's from what I've gathered.
We're going to find out here tonight.
As long as I've known Nate, he's always loved everybody.
Yeah, I don't think he's like a Nazi sympathizer. I'm just saying let's not rush to judgment on, like, we're going to have a conversation with him, Trevor. We're going to get to know him over this next hour. And you guys are going to be right there with us, and we're really looking forward to it. I mean, I'm optimistic headed into week 4. It's like week 3, that was last week, but week 4, that's right now, and I'm really feeling it. And I don't know, it's nice out for the first time in quite a while. I know there's a bit of delay in the episodes when we record them.
Well, it's been really cold.
It's been cold out there, and now it's nice it's like 40 degrees, and that was great. That was wonderful. I saw the sun shine on some bricks today, and I thought, wow, that's something. No, Trevor, that's something,
No, I know it's
months
something.
and months of just clouds.
Yeah, and then you see the sun.
You see sun shining on bricks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
But it's just gonna get cold again.
See, I said this earlier, and Trevor, his first reaction, he was like, "Well, it's immediately gonna get cold."
Yeah,
it's gonna get cold.
Yeah.
It's gonna get cold though. Gee, thanks, pal.
Hey,
that's why I'm trying to like exude optimism.
Yeah. Well, I'm very optimistic for the warmer weather whenever we get it.
Hopefully.
Not yet. It's not coming yet.
Okay. Maybe when this episode comes out, it'll be nice and warm.
I think it will. I have enough optimism for that.
Okay, so we have a limit on where you.
We have a middle ground here.
About 3.5 weeks, you just lose all hope for
the show.
What are your plans in life? Is this how you think through everything just a couple weeks out? Like, what are you doing is what I'm asking, you know?
I am planning. Sometimes I do think a couple weeks out. Sometimes.
What's next year looking like? What's 2027?
Hopefully I will be a...
doctor? Lawyer?
No, close to being done with school, if not already done. Dude.
We'd hope.
At least back in school. I hope to be at least back in school by 2026.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah. They have, like, colleges just for, like, the community, you know? They'll just let anyone in. No, it's not. It's not something to laugh about.
The art school that I go to isn't much different.
What is it? We'll give it a shout out. We'll bleep it out for the institution.
And it's right down the street from C-State, the community college. Yeah, it's right down the street.
Oh, so you're familiar.
I'm familiar with C-State. I had some friends who went there.
Okay.
A lot of people go there. And I don't knock community college at all if you're going to go to college.
So you really surveyed your options. But no real thoughts on...
on what?
No, like a direction or like a plan.
No, I have a plan. Creative freedom, you know?
Creative freedom.
Yeah, which we already have now, but I want like more. You know, we always want more, you know.
It's never enough, huh?
It's never enough.
You know, it's gonna get cold soon. It's gonna get less free soon. You know.
Yeah, that is a real scary thing. Yeah, so
but you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy, you know, looking. Hey, by the way, it's gonna get bad again. You know.
No, you're right.
You don't want to be right before the drop. Like, hey, it's gonna be over in a second. You want to be that guy on the roller coaster?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's hard not to be a realist nowadays, you know.
So you're a realist?
No, not really. Not really.
You're not a realist.
Not really, but I am a...
So you're not the realist.
I'm definitely an idealist, but I know that idealism is more like fantasy.
It's not ideal.
It's more like fantasy.
What does that mean?
This
is a non-fiction podcast.
Well, yeah, that's why we're doing this practically and not idealistically.
We're not practically doing it. We're doing it. It's not like, hey, we're doing it. This is your negative attitude again. Hey, we're doing it practically. I mean,
they practically got a podcast over here.
We have a podcast and it's running practically.
It's actually pretty No, it's like practical enough. Everything works, you know?
Yeah, I mean, budget again.
Everything works. It's what I have, and it all works. And it's not too different from getting footage any other way, I assume.
And millions of people still are viewing it, so I don't know why are we going to like...
And that's why we keep doing...
If it ain't
broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were going to make it better and improve upon that, but I already know that limerick.
Yeah, we know you already know. And, you know, I'm not trying to come out here give you some, like, spiritual advice. You know, I know you already know. I know you've heard of the college, and you've... And maybe you think 4 weeks out sometimes, and I'm not going to say you don't. I'm not going to say you don't. I know it's hard on the spot to come up with, you know, what's my plan? What are we doing? What is this whole thing?
Yeah.
What is this?
I think goals are really...
What's going on?
Goals are really important to have. I think we should all have goals.
Yeah. And we should all have some more money. And I think with your help, the viewer, the two of us, we can do that.
If you give us money...
then we'll have it.
And we'll give it back.
Right, in the form of, like, we'll talk and we'll record it, and then...
Yeah, and then we'll give it... Like, in the future, we'll give it back.
Yeah, when we have so much that it's, like, nothing to us, we'll give you guys some.
Yeah.
But you got to give us a bunch to make that happen.
That does sound like a pyramid scheme, but I think we have enough charm and
it's not,
charisma.
Trevor. It's not a pyramid scheme because it's like, oh, it's nice out today. Oh, it's gonna be cold soon. It's like, oh, I have a great idea of how we can grow this thing, and you're like, I think that might be a pyramid scheme. It's the same sort of negative pattern. It just kind of repeats itself, and it's nice out today, and I was hoping we could just have like a nice week where everything, you know, goes smooth and we don't have to have any.
Okay, yeah.
And we're gonna have Nate Dogg joining us in just a minute here. I mean, what time is he coming?
Nate's a phenomenal musician. Minutes. He's a fantastic musician.
And just a good fella. And
he has a lot of great ideas.
I've spent a lot of time with him. I don't know that much about his life or that stuff.
Yeah.
The life stuff and whatever. And we're gonna find that out. That's what we're doing here, and
that's why we do it.
But what is this all? I mean, what is all this? You got me like kind of pessimistic now with all your observations.
I mean, it's not pessimistic to be like thinking.
Oh, I'm just a realist. Hey, man. Nate Dogg, he's coming on in just a minute. We're so happy to have him. Trevor, I feel like I didn't give you the floor to speak there. I was kind of making a point. So, anything to say before we have?
No, it's okay. I don't mean to be so pessimistic. I think a little back and forth is good for the podcast.
I agree. I agree. I think a healthy debate about these things is good for everyone.
It's good for us.
It's good for us.
It's good for our friendship and our bond.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so good.
It's so good.
And the people love it.
That's why they're watching, man.
Yeah, I mean, when they told us we had to do this show, I was like, well, I don't understand who's going to watch it. And they gave us a check. We're like...
Yeah, when you say they, like it's like...
Yeah, we're not going to get into that. So we're not going to get into that. Who's running this thing? We're not going to get into who's behind all this.
Yeah. When I picture when you say that I don't really picture, I hear it. It's like the Peanuts trombone talking, and like it's off screen, and we hear
Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with the Peanuts trombone.
When adults are talking,
I go,
Peanuts. It's a trombone.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a trombone or a muted something.
Maybe a horn of some sort. Let's just call it a horn.
Absolutely a horn. But yeah, that's how I picture the higher ups that could run this show, basically.
Yeah, and that's actually okay. I'm sorry I cut you off because that's a good visual for the viewer to have that as like that's kind of enough. You can kind of yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's
good. They'll figure it out.
It's good to keep it a mystery. Yeah, and it's you basically nobody has to say what it is. Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, we kind of know what it is.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to are in the club, you're not going to ask what it is,
Yeah, that's right.
Which is how you can join our club for we'll just take 10% of whatever 10% is like, it's like leaves you 90% of your money if you just. Am I crazy? Or that's like a lot of money left over for you, and then you still have. You're still giving us 10%.
I'm just not even gonna fucking talk to you, dude.
Why? What, you feel shut down? You feel shut down during this whole thing?
It's that bug that's that chip they put in my neck. I just shut down whenever we start talking about financials.
Did they put that chip in your neck?
They did. It hurt, dude. It was like they said, "Oh, it's just a little bee sting," but it's more like a burning singe on my neck for a solid 19 seconds.
That's how they get you, because like they'll tell you like it's community college, we'll just accept whoever, but then they make you go.
This is not an analogy for vaccination, but I did have to go get vaccinated for going to school. So
and they just held you down.
They held me down. I had no choice.
And this was right after 9/11, so everyone was feeling like
everybody was shook by
the country was kind of like coming together. And there's a lot of confusion in that because there's a lot of optimism, but it's like also people get confused.
Yeah. I'm always confused about your tropical rainforest background because I feel like I'm like it's to a piece of like a Jurassic Park bedroom or something. Like I should be seeing dinosaurs back there. Like come on. I'm always looking at that shit.
I wanted to have like a homey vibe in here,
Yeah, it feels like home because you're a jungle.
Like the old days.
You're from the jungle.
Some days you just get a hint of the old days,
Yeah.
You see a tree, you're like, I've been in there.
Yeah.
We hung out in there, Something happened.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what were we saying?
We've trailed off.
We drifted so far. We're inviting Nate Dogg. He's about to come on the show.
Yeah, I have footage of Like the first time I ever hung out with Nate, it's very funny, but I wasn't sure if I should save it for when he's here or not, or if we should probably just save it for when he's here.
Yeah, we'll save it.
Yeah. But it's us dancing to a Grateful Dead song.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was funny because I just put it on and we all kind of broke out in dancing, kind of like how the Grateful Dead intended, you know.
That's what they wanted, huh?
That is what they specifically wanted.
When they made
they're like, we want these 4 burnouts to at late at night. It was after one of your shows too, at the basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we want them to dance like mad, like some morons. I mean, that is what they. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they want.
There's a lot of people willing to do that just regardless, anyways.
Yeah, so like,
and it's hard to find parking, you know.
It's hard to find parking, especially when you're at a Grateful Dead show. So yeah,
carpool is what we're saying.
Carpooling is good. Yeah, it's not a noble thing to enjoy music. Let's just get that straight. It's not a noble or honorable thing to do drugs and enjoy music in a deeper way. That's not.
Or
cool.
is it?
Or is
We're
it?
gonna dive into
yeah,
it.
Let's.
With,
We'll talk. We'll bring that up with Nate. I'll write that down.
Yeah, if we can take notes of that, and then we'll just have a couple things we bring up to him.
It's a straight yes or no question. Is it honorable and noble to do drugs and listen to music?
Yeah, so when the conversation goes flat, like when you interrupt and mess it up or something between me and Nate Dogg,
I'll bring it up.
You can bring it up, and then we'll have something to cut to.
Yeah.
That'll be actually great.
That'll be great.
That'll be wonderful.
And that's I think we're good here.
Okay, no final words,
no,
Trevor.
Nothing
else to say.
We're all good.
You said all you need to say.
We're straight.
Again, I feel just a little negativity coming from you, but
no. Well, I need to get some more vulnerability from you. I need some more vulnerability from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
I
where
do.
you want to go. We're gonna have a talk.
Because there's still this wall in front of us physically that we're gonna figure out, but I can still see your eyes.
Budget issues. It's like if we had, we're gonna get Trevor a floating chair so he can float above the.
Is that too much to ask for?
Is it?
Yeah, or like one of those hoverboards from 2016.
Yeah.
Can I get one of those so I don't have to walk?
Do you know that ball that was supposed to float, but it was just like the
fushigi?
Yeah, the fushigi.
Yeah, no, it's just a ball.
Yeah, but I was a stupid kid and I didn't know, and I was like, it doesn't float at all.
Do you have one?
No, I don't know where that went. Where do those things go?
Fushigi?
Where do those things go?
People will pull that out at shows, and I think it's still a worthy investment to get a fushigi because it's still like a novelty thing to like show off to your friends. It's
it's good to learn a trade.
Yeah, learn a trade. It's like peacocking, so that whenever you go to parties or show and you want people to know, like, hey, I'm not just another face in the crowd.
He's here.
I have fushigi.
I got fushigi. It floats. It's all a sham. It's all a scam. It's a sham.
It's a scam. It's a sham. And Nate is here.
Nate's here.
That's wonderful.
Acorn Archive.
Now, what do you like to go as?
Just Nate, mostly. My full name is Nathan with an E-N.
Did you ever read Big Nate?
I did.
Oh.
I did. I had the do-it-yourself Big Nate book.
Oh, you got to draw in it and stuff?
Yeah. It wasn't as good as the Diary of a Wimpy Kid one, but I had it.
Yeah, I found the Big Nate, like, fill it in yourself, lacked a bit of structure.
It didn't have the chutzpah.
It just didn't keep me coming back. It was nice to have around, but it didn't.
I filled it in like probably a couple things. I think I threw that thing away. Like,
where do those things go? You know, we were just talking about that before you got in here. Where's the stack of Big Nate books I had?
I don't know. I got rid of them.
Did you do it yourself?
Like, did I get rid of it myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh wow, you really made an effort.
Yeah, I got tired of it. I was like, I don't read these.
You're like,
anymore.
I'm Big Nate.
I'm Nate Dogg.
Big Nate Dogg.
Big Nate Dogg.
What's going on over there with the cameras? You got it going or what? This is the thing with the production here. It's just like we have this budget problem. I don't know if you've heard.
I have heard the overhead is through the roof.
Overhead is through the roof, so it's just like, you know, Trevor's having all these issues, and he keeps saying we need more money, we need more funding, and I'm telling him I'm dumping 2,000 a week into this thing, and we can bleep that out. But
there's a lot of wires happening.
There's a lot of wires, and it's like a lot to keep up with, and the studio space is costing us a lot of money. So
You all right back there, Trevor?
yeah, are you okay?
I'm okay.
It's okay.
He's gonna be okay.
We're gonna be all right.
All right, we're gonna dive into you, Nate. This is the episode of optimism. Okay,
Episode, yeah.
we've decided we're gonna be a little more cheerful and a little more looking to the future in a positive way. And
Yeah.
it's nice out today. These episodes come out like a couple weeks afterwards, but today it's very nice by comparison.
It has been. It's not been as like dour and icebox cold.
What does dour mean?
Just kind of like low spirited, just kind of like
Okay.
depressing,
Yeah, it has felt that way.
sullen, if you will.
A lot of clouds.
Yeah, it's been very gray. There's been a lot of doom and gloom outside.
How does that make you feel? I mean,
Not too great.
yeah, that's what I imagine.
I mean, I've gotten used to the cold. I've never really, I don't know. I've kind of liked being cold because then you just put on more clothes.
That's true.
You just put on more stuff. It's like I don't have any heat in my room, so it's just like another blanket, second blanket, and then I'm warm.
Do you find it inhibits your day-to-day activities?
No,
No, not at all.
not really.
Where are you from? Are you from Columbus?
Westerville, but technically
Westerville.
like a suburb of
So
Columbus.
you've been here. It's cold sometimes. Sometimes it's warm.
Yeah, sometimes it's too warm. I like the summer because it's easier to go outside and you can go swimming because I like being in water.
Water's
But-
nice.
I've come to appreciate. For a while I just hated winter. I used to love it when I was a kid, and then like when I started driving, I was like, I hate winter. And then now I'm like, I kind of like winter. It's more introspective. You think more.
Yeah, it's quiet out.
Yeah, I do like that. It's like, there's a lot less riffraff that happens when it's cold out.
Yeah.
There's like a lot less trouble going on.
Now, who's causing this riffraff?
There's a lot of riffraff back here, so let me get my bounds here.
All right, get your bounds. Did you start recording on the handy recorder?
Yes. Yeah.
If I can't monetize it, it's like, what is the point?
Yeah, honestly.
You see the issue here, Trevor? It's like if I can't monetize this
Yeah.
discussion, how are we even?
Why are we doing it?
What are we doing here?
What is happening?
Tell us something. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything, prolific or outstanding, but just tell what was on your mind today.
What has been on my mind today? I've been reading a lot because I haven't been on like social media as much.
What have you been reading?
I'm reading 3 books at the same time. I'm reading Chronicles Volume 1 by Bob Dylan. I'm reading Stranger in a Strange Land by, I want to say his name is Robert H. Heinlein or Robert A. Heinlein. And a book that my therapist recommended me called To Be Loved, it's an autobiography by like a therapist. But I don't know, I've been reading Chronicles today, but I was just like, I don't know. It's just been resonating with me. I've just been thinking about that book a lot.
So you're kind of turning a new leaf this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, I kind of started not being on social media like a few months ago because I was having a tough time. So I just, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't know. I just got tired of it. And I was
Fans were kind of getting to you, and it was just like a little much.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. It was just the whole rat race of it, of just wasting time. Just the scroll was just killing me, and just I was too caught up in it. I just had to cut myself off from it.
Now, how'd you do that? It doesn't seem like an easy thing to do.
Pretty much what I did was I like removed them from my home screen.
And then they're not there.
Yeah, like they're still on my phone. I can go on them if I want to. And I have been a little bit lately, but mostly just to post random things and just bounce off. But I just do that and I turn off notifications So it's not like my phone's not blowing up with people like sending me crap and getting whatever.
So this seems like a positive change.
It has been. Yeah, it's done a lot for me. I don't really have as much to really worry about. All I really go on there for is to like promote stuff for the band and my own art, really. And that doesn't really require much attention other than just like you just schedule the post and just set it and forget it.
Yeah, it's nice to not have that thing, and it's also nice to just be bored sometimes. And
Yeah.
like, you know, because I always think like when I was a kid, I would like I would like examine like the corner of the ground in like a room, where I just like lay on the floor and like look at the wall or something.
Like count the little like the little sponge
Yeah.
circles, like plaster circles on the walls, on
Yeah.
the ceilings.
And notice all these things that are like kind of interesting in themselves, but you also just end up having like organic thoughts that come from that are entertaining in themselves, like that are stimulating. But they, you know, that doesn't really happen if you just like if you're not like bored for a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta be able to just kind of like just be alone with your thoughts. Like meditation is a good way to do that too. I've been doing that every day, every morning. Like it's kind of one of the first things I do when I wake up is I just like meditate for a little bit, and it's just being able to just sit alone. Basically just having some nice like sit down and shut up time to just like let thoughts just come through your head just organically and just not really have to like, oh my God, what's happening on Instagram? Oh, dude,
Yeah.
Johnny posted a funny meme. Like, I don't know, doing that, like having that be the first thing to do, like waking up in the morning, because that's what it was for me for a while, and it was just like, I don't know, it just kind of turned my brain into soup.
Yeah. Yeah, the start of the day is important.
It
It's
is.
very important. Sometimes I find a good dream can coast me into a good day. If I have like a nice dream, I'm like, that was very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and have a good day. Because it's sort of like as simple as that. Like, a couple seconds after you wake up, you're like, oh, this is going to suck. And
Yeah.
then it's like,
It's like you just wake up, you just want to go.
and then even if
fuck
it's
back to
fine,
sleep.
it kind of sucks the whole time.
Rodney Dangerfield had this really good bit. It was like, I wake up every morning and the heaviness is there waiting for me. Oh, you're gonna get it today.
Sometimes I have mornings like that.
It's like this big slug on top of you.
It kind of is, yeah. Like you have like a, I don't know, lately, because I've been, like I said, like before we started, I've been doing dry January. So like I haven't been like smoking weed or drinking or doing nicotine. I mean, I'm still like drinking coffee and stuff, but I don't really have that relationship to caffeine. But it's like I'm able to dream again because like you know, cannabis disrupts your circadian rhythm and like your REM cycles in your sleep, so you don't dream. It inhibits dreaming. So all month I've just been having dreams every night.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they go from like really cool and weird to just like I wake up and I'm like, holy shit. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck was that? It's like it's kind of nice, but it's also kind of like intense. The first week was like really, I was just having really heavy like symbolic dreams, and I'm just like, and I would wake up just kind of like slightly horrified.
Yeah. Yeah, dreams are weird.
They are. It's
And there's no explanation really. It's just like we're just like, okay.
yeah, it's really like it's like your subconscious mind. It's the only way your subconscious mind communicates with your conscious mind, but you can never really understand it on your own. And I got into it a little bit. I was like, I dipped my toes a little bit into like Jungian like psychology and like dream theory. And I remember like I watched this documentary, and it was like, it wasn't Carl Jung himself, but it was somebody who was like an apprentice of him. And she had said something like, it's like you should never try to interpret your own dreams. It's like it's kind of a fool's errand. Like it's because you're always going to get it wrong. Because it's like it's easier to have someone else interpret it who's like experienced in it. So like I try not to really derive meaning from my dreams.
Yeah.
It seems kind of dangerous to me. It's like, you know, it's like a hot coal. It's like I don't want to fucking touch that.
But would you think it's like dangerous to find meaning in a lot of like symbolism in a lot of like natural occurrences? Do you think it's kind of dangerous?
It can be. It's good in moderation. Sometimes I get caught up in it. Like I always like, you know, like you see like angel numbers like 444 and like 333. I don't really know anything about like numerology, but like I see those times a lot when I look at the clock, like just like the triple numbers, and I'm like, ooh, that means something. But every time I look up what those numbers mean, I get like 5 different meanings. So it's like, but like I know it's got to be something because I keep seeing it all the time, like every day.
I've sort of like taken like a step back from all that stuff. Like when like the dreams, I'll try to like record them.
Yeah.
But then instead of trying to analyze them, I figure like, okay, well I was already in the dream, and I was there, and whatever the situation was, I understood it at that time. So I've already gotten the benefit of seeing that thing. So I don't really need to examine it that much. You know, like it's already like I've already seen it. So it's whatever however it affected me is fine.
Yeah, like it's already done it, and like whatever it's trying to tell you.
And then same with like the numbers, my or like anything like that. It's like whenever I notice something, I'm just like, okay, something's happening. But I don't try to think too much about it. I'm just like, okay, that's cool.
I do, yeah.
It's a little
I kind of
pattern that keeps repeating. I'm like, okay, what is that?
That's what I try to do. I try to like just like take it as it comes, but
It is interesting. I think like
it's hard not to get caught up in it because you're like, what is this? What does this mean? This pattern keeps
what's like a
occurring.
natural. You
But
do
it's
that
just-
with your whole life.
Yeah, that's just
pattern
human
seeking,
nature.
so-
It's just we just have pattern recognizing brains, and
Yeah.
it's just
But I think you can find patterns in anything, which is a sort of like a trap you can fall into. But I think maybe when you do what you're doing, where you're like not as distracted by whether it be your phone or whatever it is, they're just taking up your time, and you just let yourself be bored, then you recognize the actual patterns that are like the huge patterns.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it is kind of odd, like to like when you separate yourself from that because like everybody else is doing it. When I first started doing it, I was really nervous about like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss stuff, like I'm gonna miss shows and shit. Oh my god, and then it just kind of was like, well, no, if there were ones that like people were like, you know, that I'd want to go to ones that my friends would want to go to, and if they wanted me to go, they'd be like, hey, you going to this?
Yeah.
It's like you don't really miss anything because like you're gonna get information from
Right, yeah,
somebody
yeah.
somehow, and not just through that.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of relieving because it's just like, oh wow, I have friends.
Yeah,
that
that's a
tell
healthy
me
sign. It's
stuff.
like,
And it's like, but at the same time, just like, I don't know. But the more time I've spent away from it, I just see more people like I just kind of watch people on there, just like, you know, I'm just sitting on the couch and I'm like, I got people over. I'm just kind of like sitting, like looking around the room,
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
out the window, and then like I look at my friends and they're just like, just
yeah.
scrolling. I'm just like,
I miss when being like a kid and you're sitting with your friends and everyone's bored.
yeah,
you're
like
like-
you're just looking around the room.
And then it's like, all right, what are we gonna do? It's nice. That's a weird thing you notice, and it's like you're immediately on the other side of it. Is like when you're a kid, you get put in all these situations that are like you're just stuck there and you're bored and you don't want to be there.
yeah,
And then you make the best.
it's
out
like
of
your
it with,
parents make you go outside. It's like, go outside and play.
whatever it is, just like even if you're just in your house and you're like, this
Yeah.
is boring.
You're just trying to find something to just while away the hours.
And then your mind is like super interesting, so you come up with something.
Yeah, it's been nice. You know, it's just like,
But it is weird when no one else is doing it, so it's like,
yeah, you kind of feel like
what's
an
the point
alien.
of this whole thing? I mean, what are we trying to? I think whatever the worst person's doing, it's good. You can do it too. If someone's doing it, it's fine. I'm going to take that back for a lot of things, but for some, maybe for like a lifestyle situation, this might be like a lifestyle podcast. Nate, we were we were hoping you were gonna turn a new leaf with this whole thing, and it was like, I think we have to like, I think with your help, this is gonna become sort of like a lifestyle thing where we like,
Just
you want to talk about like an avocado spread or something? What
I
have
don't
you?
know. I
What's
haven't
been
gotten-
going on? I mean, this is I mean, this is gonna be great. Surely we'll get our budget will be raised. I mean,
it's great, just like drink boba tea,
yeah,
little bubbles in there.
Yeah.
Eat the bubbles.
you're just gonna eat them. Have you been
Consume the
making your
micro.
own bread or like growing tomatoes or anything cool?
I've thought about making
You've
my
just been
own
thinking
bread.
about it. So this is okay. So maybe this isn't as big of like a lifestyle change as I was.
What is happening?
I was hoping you would maybe like you were growing like tomatoes or like making your own like jam.
No, I
So-
don't know anything about that stuff.
It just gives us nowhere to go. Really, it just gives us like no momentum for the lifestyle
Shit.
side of this thing.
I don't know. It's just like I've been working out
Ah, Jesus, that's not good.
a little bit.
That's lifestyle shit.
Yeah, it's just so vague.
All right.
Tell us about like your childhood, man. What was that like? Sum it up. I mean, do you have siblings?
Yeah, I got an older brother.
Wow, look at that.
I got
How
He's
much older?
about 2.5 years.
2.5.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. He's an artist.
an artist.
Yeah,
like yourself.
he's really good. He's like,
Is he in Columbus?
yeah. He lives. I don't know where he lives. Somewhere on the east side or something.
A little
But-
east.
Yeah, a little eastern. But he's trying to get into like
And are you fine with the Easterners?
the what?
Just like people farther east, are you fine with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with anybody, man.
I told you he was fine with
Okay, we had a little debate. I was thinking maybe, but he turned a new leaf. Is what we're fucking saying.
What the?
So why are you bringing up old shit, Trevor? I mean,
Because
I just wanted to clear it up.
Point.
It was just about to sail by. It's like, okay, that's great. He doesn't. Everyone east is fine.
Yeah, everybody's
And
fine.
if you think about it, you can go far enough east that you're back to where you started.
I mean, that's kind of the crazy thing about the universe. You can just, it's infinite. So if you can look infinitely, you can stare at the back of your own head.
Now, what is that? So what does that even mean?
Basically, like, the universe is just infinite. It's just a circle. Like, wherever
Like a
you
hamster
go,
ball sort of thing?
if you keep going,
Oh, you come back to where you
yeah,
are.
if you
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
going
yeah.
in one direction, you will eventually return to the same point which you started.
Right, but,
Eventually, so
Who
you
figured
could be
that out?
light years and light years away.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like
forever.
infinite amount of light years, you will come back to the
I don't
point
believe
which you started.
I don't believe they really know.
I mean, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
It's just a theory. We got floating through space, 1 hour infinite loop.
What is he talking about?
You can't see.
floating through space, 1 hour infinite loop.
Yeah.
There's no way you get there in an hour. You get back to where you
Well,
started.
I'm gonna pull
in
it
an
up
hour.
here, and then you guys are gonna see it.
I'd love for this to happen. In fact, I can't wait. What do you got there? What are you drinking?
Oh, just some coffee.
Just some coffee.
Yeah.
Decaf or you go fully caffeinated?
I'd go fully
You caffed it up?
caffeinated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess this is what it would be like.
Okay, so this is sort of like...
That's what it's like.
Now, where are we?
Where are?
Trevor, where
What is-
are we in this?
Yeah, where do we come into play here?
I guess this is us right now. We're in the space.
Oh, this is
loop.
like a POV?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're in the loop right now.
I think
yeah,
this is-
eventually, if you go far enough and fast enough, you'll just be right back where you started, right at the beginning of that video.
Who said that, though? I mean, it's like...
I don't
I
know.
could
I
say
remember.
that.
I remember learning it in like 8th grade
I could say that. It wouldn't
astronomy
matter.
class.
You know, I learned.
Astrophysicist.
One of the theories that stuck with me was the Grand Canyon is is the moon.
The Grand Canyon is the moon.
The pictures is where they took the
Like,
pictures.
is that where like?
That's
Are
where
you
they
talking
staged
about
it.
like where the one planet like hit the Earth and then fractured off and formed the moon.
Right, like that's where the moon came from. Yeah. Right.
I've never heard that. That's
Really?
actually like that's kind of interesting.
How have you never heard it? But you explained it better than I could.
That was just like
That's
kind
maybe
of
just
what
like
I
a lack
guessed.
of like.
That was just like I was just kind of guessing on what that was.
I mean, I think that's what. Yeah.
I mean, like the Gulf of Mexico is like the impact crater of the meteorite that killed the dinosaurs.
Really.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
like that's what it was. That's
Yeah,
what it
right.
is. No, actually.
Oh yeah, right. Were you there?
Yeah, I'm full of shit. I was. It was wasn't as cool as I thought it would be.
Yeah,
It's kind of overhyped.
some things like you see it live and it's like that's not quite what I hoped it would
Like
be.
dinosaurs, like, you know, they don't look like Jurassic Park. They got feathers and shit. They look
Yeah.
like fucking birds.
So you're growing up in. We'll bleep that out. I know you got a lot of fans. You're off the social media. You're growing up in. We'll bleep it out.
Cut
So you're
that.
growing up,
Cut
and then when do you take a turn towards the arts? When do you pick up that guitar?
When did I pick up the guitar? I tried doing it when I was like 8 because I played Guitar Hero and I was really into like, I was starting to kind of like get into music. My dad was turning me on to it. I mean, he always was ever since I was a baby. But like, I think what made me want to play guitar was, I think it was AC/DC. It was Angus Young. I wanted to be Angus Young. And I picked up the guitar and I never learned anything. I just made a holy racket. And then I put it down for a long time. And then I picked it back up when I was 13. And then I just kind of just kept plugging along ever since.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
AC/DC had, they. What more could I say? They had such an impact on everybody.
They did, man, you know. Just like I saw this little guy running around in a schoolboy uniform, jumping around, rolling around on the stage, and I was like, fuck, that's just like me.
Yeah, like Angus specifically. Like,
Because I was a hyperactive kid, so like I saw someone doing that, and I was like, I do that, but without playing guitar. So I could learn guitar and then do that.
Right. And then you thought, I'll make a lot of money.
I don't even know if I thought about that. I was just like, I thought that would be fun.
I'll get a checking account. I'll start making deposits. And then I'll have some other guys working for me. And
invest.
yeah, they'll invest. And everyone will have a little stake in this thing. And we can really milk this. And
then we'll make crypto and rug pull everybody.
yeah, there's always a place to go.
There's always a destination.
Really? What's your destination?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's me neither.
I just want to have fun and enjoy myself and just live a life that is on my own terms. I want to be able to, you know, like when I'm old and I'm dying, I just want to look back and was like, that was a lot of fucking fun.
And what if you die like when you're young or something?
So be it. It's just, you know, if that was how it was supposed to pan out, then that's how it was. I try not to think that far ahead and just.
What if it's not that far ahead? What if it's like real soon?
I just live for today. If it's today, then that's all right, you know.
What if you? Okay, so see, this is something that pops up. It's like you're gonna live for today. I think that's a good attitude to have.
Just try to.
But then you had no plan for tomorrow.
I do. Yeah, I try to, but
well, it's hard to when you don't even know if it's gonna come.
That is. So you got to live every day like it's your last.
That's right, dude.
Yeah, okay, but then another day comes and you're like, oh no, I wasn't planning for this at all. Right, so you can't live every day like it's your last. You got to live some days like it's a Tuesday at 3. You know.
Yeah.
You got to live some days like it's Tuesday at 3, and then because they keep coming sometimes, but maybe not in your case.
Yeah, who knows? You know, sometimes you get your Tuesdays at 3, your Thursdays at noon.
Your Tuesdays in Maury. You read that book?
Tuesday what?
No one's.
Tuesdays with Maury?
No, what is that?
No, I don't think anyone's.
That
read
sounds familiar though.
It's a good book.
I feel like I heard that like title like back in school.
Yeah, well, it's a good book. It's about a sports writer. I'm pretty sure it's based on a true story. It's about a sports writer who he catches up with his old professor who is dying. I'm pretty sure he's dying, or else it wouldn't be so memorable. And then he learns so many life lessons.
I like that.
And basically how to enjoy life, like what you're saying. I think, like...
No, I like stuff like that.
It's a good short read. You should check it out. But
Maybe
I don't think it's I don't think you're asking a lot for just wanting to live your life to the fullest and just enjoy it, you know? Like,
yeah.
but, like, on a deeper level, like, not just, like, indulging, you know, like, experiencing life and just, you know, being happy with it.
What could be nice is, like, if you do, you know, unfortunately die soon, you could share your wisdom with us because we live so close.
That's right. Right down the street, even.
So, like, you have like an outlet for that, and we get your wisdom, and we'll still be around.
It's so cool how close we all live to each other, you know?
It is. I do really like having that, like, that sense of community and just having all, like...
But once you're dead, it's kind of gone.
Not really. I mean, you know, I once heard a saying, I don't remember who said it, but, like, you die twice. You die when you stop living, and then you die again when the last time your name is spoken.
So you think... So what's going to be your legacy?
I don't know.
Is it important as, like, a broad legacy, or is it just the connections you make with the people you know?
Yeah, that, honestly, just what I can offer to people, just, I guess, just myself and just my, you know, my art or my just points of view, or just making people laugh, or just being there in general. Like, I don't really know. I don't really have any expectations as to what my legacy is. I just try to live for myself, and I guess, like, just have a body of work and just experiences that I can look upon and be proud of and take pride in.
Well, we hope you don't die soon.
I hope so, too.
And we're glad you've turned this new leaf because, you know, we were saying we got to get him in here. We don't know how much longer he's got.
Yeah, you know.
So, I mean, we're happy to get you in here. You mentioned, you know, you place a lot of value in the work you're able to create. Now, would you tell us a little about the project you're in? I mean, what is this whole thing? What are you talking about?
It's kind of a couple things. There's a few projects I'm involved in. I guess my main pet project is the band I'm in, called Mascara Cowboys.
Pull it up.
Yo, pull it up.
Pull it up. Yeah, that's one of my projects, you know. It's kind of a collaborative effort. There is the other band I'm in called Hillhead, which is it's a punk band, and that's a lot of fun to just kind of be loud and raucous. And my third is more of a visual art thing. It's what me and Caleb do together. It's called Scram Optics.
Scram.
Yeah, Scram. We gotta go.
Yeah, everyone's got to go sometime. I mean, we're hoping you got some more time to hang out with us. You know, we're hoping it's not going to be soon. But the other thing is, like, nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody knows. And that's really the beauty in it. There's I once heard this said by Sun Ra. He said there is wisdom in being able to say I don't know. And that always resonated with me.
Because you don't know.
Yeah, I like not knowing. It's like, why would you know? Who cares?
But then you have a dream, and it's like, what was that?
I don't know.
Trevor, you take this for a second. I gotta pee.
Take it, Trevor. Yeah, give me a minute.
As they say in show business, take it away.
Yeah. Yeah, well, tell me more about Scram Optics, because I don't know about that one.
Scram Optics is it's a production company.
Yeah.
And it is we've already done some work, but not like, you know, officially. It's basically just me and Caleb. And Caleb does like, you know, the video and like photography stuff. I do like graphic design and other stuff like that. A lot of our work is for Der Frosch, like the supper club. All the promos we've done together. We've worked on together. We've done a couple promos that never saw the light of day. We did one for Goon Fest that was it was a little too much. but
Need I say less?
Yeah, you know, maybe one day we'll put that one out.
Maybe for next Goonfest. You know?
I really hope so.
Yeah. Well, Masquerade Cowboys has come a long way.
It has. We really have come a long way from just jamming in the at the lab. Went from 3 guys to 4 guys, and then you know, now we have merch, which is crazy. We have, you know, we're recording right now. Actually, we're working on a single, like a double-sided single, like, because you know, I always like singles when it's just like there's an A side and a B side. But whenever people put out singles these days, it's always just one song. It's like, man, like, throw another one on there.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. We're recording at the house. With Anson has a
Reel to reel.
yeah, he's got an 8-track like reel-to-reel tape machine.
And he's also like he has an ear for everything. Like he's an amazing sound engineer.
He does. He's really good. Me and him kind of like are very in touch about that. He kind of has more like technical knowledge of it than I do.
Yeah.
I did go to school for sound engineering. I went to the recording workshop in Chillicothe, and I learned like a lot about. Mostly my takeaways from it was just the experience of just actively being in a studio and just what that process is like. Because I did it both as a musician and as an engineer, and it's really nice to be able to be on, I guess, both sides of the glass. Because then like you know how you feel as an engineer and you know how you feel as a musician, so you can, especially if you're working with other people, you can accommodate them and like help them out, because that is important. Because like as a musician, it's really uncomfortable and it's nerve-wracking and it's frustrating, because like it's frustrating for me because I just get in my head and like I like, especially just hearing myself, and I'm just like, damn it.
I think it's cool to have like the perspective of you know, both of those perspectives, because it lets you make a more focused plan of like when you are going to create something.
Yeah, like you can work out a strategy of like what you're going to do and how you're going to do it.
Yeah, and it's nice having an idea of how a full group would do it versus a single person. You know, because a full group would do it more naturally, where you like record the parts together.
Yeah.
And it's got its own like feel.
I've wanted to do live recording. It's hard to do in the house because we're working with limited stuff. We've been multi-tracking, but it's nice to do that because then you can isolate things, and we've been kind of experimenting with like mic placement and just working with the sound of the room itself. Like we're just, because it's especially on the recording we're working on right now, it's very like there's a lot of natural reverb just like from inside the house.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice just being able to like incorporate the sound, because like me and Garrett and Anson all live there together, and it's just like it's kind of like what to be able to listen to it, just like, yeah, it's like that's what my house sounds like. It's nice.
Does it get hard like living in the same space where you're trying to create something? Like I always thought it would be nice to have a place to like go to work. But
it can be a little odd, you know, it's just like, but not too bad. I mean, I have like my room, that's like where I go and work. Mostly like on drawing and things like that, like my art stuff. Sometimes I'll take it downstairs into the living room, like if I don't have any space in my room. Usually when I'm painting, I do that in the living room. But like if I'm just drawing, like I mostly just use pen and ink. So I just mostly just do that in my room. But it's like, you know, I just throw a record on, I light some incense, and I just... Oh, it's nice.
So you have turned a new leaf. This is your new
Oh, no,
person.
that's just how I always work.
You've just always been like this. So maybe you don't even need to grow tomatoes. Maybe you don't need...
No, we don't have the
bread.
yard for that.
You don't have the yardage?
That and it's just our backyard is just dirt.
Just dirt. But a lot of things come from dirt. I mean...
That's true.
Let's give it up for the Midwest.
Shout out the Midwest.
Shout out farming, agriculture.
Honestly, you know, we gotta support our family farmers because they're keeping us fed, and when they're gone, we're gone.
Yeah, and hopefully they still got some food for us.
Hopefully, you know, there's all these like big corporations buying up farmland, and it's kind of scary because these farmers are like, they're feeding us, you know, like it's in everything, like corn especially, like the amount of stuff that we use corn in is kind of staggering, and the fact that a lot of that land that is used to grow this food that we need to have is like dwindling very fast is very like, it's scary. It's kind of terrifying.
A little terrifying.
It is, because it's like, that's food, like that's a non-negotiable, we can't not have that.
That's true.
But like that's something that's like, I don't know. It's a scary thing to think about.
It is. I mean, it's not only is it scary, it's also terrifying.
It is.
And furthermore, I mean,
I would say it's horrifying.
Maybe a good reason to grow some tomatoes.
We should grow some tomatoes. It is. I do like the idea of doing that, like the self-reliance and self-sufficiency. I just don't have the means to do it. I don't know anything about it, but I know people that do. Like Caroline Crow, like she like makes her own bread. She's brewing her own kombucha. She's growing herbs and stuff like in her living room. It's crazy. She's got like a little hydroponic setup, like growing stuff,
Oh.
basil and all this other.
I like basil.
Yeah, like she's growing like all sorts of stuff. It's insane. Like, honestly, it's kind of inspiring. Like I've always like, one of these days I gotta pick her brain, and just be like, teach me how to make bread.
So you have turned a new leaf.
I wouldn't say I've turned a new leaf necessarily. It's more so I've just been, I guess, since like there's not a whole lot to do during the winter, I've just been focusing more on myself and trying to improve myself mentally and whatnot.
You still working at the market?
I am.
We just had Matt McCarthy on last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's my boy, man. I love him. That's my dog. We work together.
People were going crazy on the comments for that video. People were going just nuts, and they're saying you got to have Nate on. And we were saying
they said that
because he might be, you know, who knows how long he's going to be.
Yeah, who knows how long I'll be here.
It was just kind of good in two ways to get you in here, and it was like,
I mean, we are the duo, you know. We do the Wylands ads, you know.
yeah, those are good.
I'm kind of surprised they let us get away with all that shit.
Yeah, that's fun.
It is fun. Like I don't even like the first one. You just kind of like, he just sends me like a thing. He's just like, yo, like, because we have a marketing manager at work, which is kind of funny to me because it's like a local grocery store. But like, you know, so the marketing manager hit him up to make a jingle about turkeys. And Matt's like, oh, you want to help me do this jingle about turkeys? And I'm like, yeah, man. So I went over to his house, and we just both got really high, and just like, I just babbled about turkeys into the microphone. And then we filmed the video.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and then we did it again, except we were talking about like meats for Christmas, but we couldn't mention. We weren't allowed to mention Christmas, so we had to change it.
Non-denominational.
Yeah, non-denominational winter holiday
Wyland's ad.
Wyland's ad about standing rib roast, beef tenderloin, and
Get it live for the rib roast.
stand up straight for the rib roast, guys. We got.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just was reading off the text that like what, because like she sends a text to him for like what we have to talk about, like the things we have to bring up, and one of them was for a standing rib roast. And right before I did this, I take a big old hit of this dab pen, and I'm just like, and the first thing that pops into my head is stand up straight for the rib roast, because it's a standing rib roast. So.
Right. It's great. I love it, and I love it how in the first one, like, if I remember correctly, the Wyland's shop like opens up, and you guys like get put into it like a box.
Yeah, that's at the end.
That's
We get put into the turkey box.
It's very like Tim and Eric of you.
I mean, it is nice. Like, they treat me very well there. Like, my boss is really cool, and really, I'm just there to just, it's like any other job. I'm just there to make money and just do what I can until the time comes to clock out, and I'll just be like, whatever they want me to do, I'll do it. Just, I'm just like, get me through the day. But it's nice. It is nice being able to work somewhere where, like, because I've worked at other places where people are just like really mean and just super, I don't know, just locked in serious. Not that there's people like that at work. That's every job, but it's a lot easier to be there and be like, I'm not necessarily like jumping for joy going to work, but I'm like, I'm going to work. All right, let's go. Like, my boss, like Andy's going to be there, and it's going to be chill, and we're going to have a good day. Right. But yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty low stakes stuff.
But then what about tomorrow?
Oh, it's my day off tomorrow.
Hey, and then there's a week coming after this.
There
There's
is a week
month
coming after
that. And there's many, many years. And if you're living day to day, it's just how do you plan for these things? It's like, how can you even... Sometimes I think about, inability to just imagine even a distance. You can imagine, like, your house from here, and it's a short distance, but you can't actually imagine all the turns. You just got a vague understanding of what it looks like.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? It's
What
just
are we
like, what
doing?
is this thing? What is this? You ever think about that?
I do, yeah. Like, just what everything... I kind of have those moments, like, when I wake up in the morning, or, like, when I wake up in the middle of the night. 'Cause
Right.
I wake up in the middle of the night a lot.
A lot of our viewers wake up in the middle of the night.
And it's like, you wake up and you don't really know what time it is. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, fuck, what am I doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like that kind of cold sweat moment where you're just like, what the fuck?
What is all this?
You just look around your room and you're just like, is this it? And those moments are very terrifying. Yeah. Like it's extremely overwhelming, but
it might be over soon.
It might be over at any time. Like, there's really no way of knowing, and it's just like, you don't really know if you're doing the right thing or not. I mean, you're just trying to do whatever just feels right to you.
Yeah, if that
but
means...
you don't know if that's it's subjectively right to you.
Right.
But you don't know if that's objectively what you're supposed to be doing. Because it's like, nobody knows what the hell we're doing here or why we're here.
Do you say just kind of like seize the day, just kind of go for it? Is that what you're saying?
I just try to...
What about if someone's like...
I just try to go with the bit. You just go with the bit, and
if
you're just like...
If someone's feeling like I got to do a genocide, you're saying just kind of go with the bit?
No, they shouldn't do that, obviously.
Right, but if it feels right to them, it's like that's a perspective.
I mean, yeah.
So that's a perspective, so it's like sort of...
I mean, from their perspective, they think it's right.
So maybe it's
called a lack of empathy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to make value judgments on other people. What if they have a perspective you don't have, Trevor?
I feel like to confidently do what feels right, you must have empathy.
Yes.
Well, who's judging who has empathy and who doesn't?
You can tell.
Oh, it's just you can
It's just
tell?
whether or not you
It's just
care
those
about
ki-
other
those kinds of
people.
huh?
basically.
You know, like if you care about others and I mean, obviously, like, you know,
Don't do a genocide. is
yeah,
what you're
don't do a genocide. Like, don't kill people.
saying. Right.
Because, like,
What if someone's
it's
like,
not anybody's place to decide who lives and who dies. Like,
Right, what
nobody
if-
decides that.
so
I
that's a
mean, people
perspective.
try to decide that. You know, the state tries to decide that with, like, executions and things like that.
Uh-huh.
But ultimately, like, on a universal human level, nobody can ever really decide who lives and who dies. And there's some select few that think they can, and they, you know, they go out and they kill people and
Are you
stuff.
talking about our Lord and Savior?
I guess. Who might that be though? There's a lot of interpretations as to who that is.
Well, who's your Lord and Savior? Mine might be Ronald McDonald. It might be.
Ah, yes, the
Is that
American,
What do you?
the American Jesus.
No, I don't think the fact that you worship a clown, I don't think that's funny at all.
He's a comedian.
But
He's a wise man. He knows the way of the burger.
what?
Yeah, he's a man under the makeup.
Do you have any sort of religion that you?
Oh,
go
Jesus
for?
Christ!
That's what
man.
you were asking.
You're just gonna go right
That's
at
what
him?
you were
Just-
asking.
No, tell us about your religion. Let's just.
Not
dive into it.
particularly. No.
I'm trying to be
I kind of
optimistic.
just the way I
Trevor's
go.
a realist. Trevor's a realist. It's
He's real.
just how it is. He's all kind of doom and gloom, and we're trying to be Let's just screw the whole positivity thing, where we're gonna be making this thing like optimistic, and it's gonna be the optimistic episode.
I'm down for some optimism. You know.
I was gonna say like an easy since you love bringing up the Holocaust so much, you could just ask him if he would kill baby Hitler. That's a real popular one.
Why you're just
What is fucking going on? You know.
we're just gonna scrap this whole thing. I mean, what was that? I'd rather be in Auschwitz than doing this podcast right now.
No, you would.
Wow, that's a
They're not.
that's a crazy take.
It's safe now.
You going to C State?
Yeah.
That's right on, man.
Thanks, man.
Do you find people in your life sort of like making you empty promises, and then it's like, you know, you just kind of like, you know, things pass by, and then you're like, oh, it's fine, whatever. But deep down
Like, you're hurt by it.
you're hurt by it, and I think that's
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all go through that. It's a painful thing to have to experience. You know, nobody wants to deal with that.
nobody.
Nobody wants to be kind of left hanging in that respect.
No. Yeah.
You know, because, you know, we all, if you're gonna make a promise, you got to make good on it.
That's true.
It's like you don't want to.
What if your promise is like a genocide? I'm
Well,
gonna
then you
kill
don't
all
want to go
these
through
people.
with that.
So yeah, okay. So there's one contradiction to what we just said.
Well, you know, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Okay, so this is a little guideline. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I think then yeah, that applies.
Yeah, like as long as you're not impeding other people's lives and like disrupting or in that case terminating other people's lives, you know.
Oh.
Then yeah, don't do those things.
But you know, even just existing sometimes bugs other people. Sometimes there's people in your life who are gonna not be happy with you just for whatever you're doing.
yeah, and that's always
What do you do? Because
Man,
you're not
you
always
just-
right, you know. But
Well, yeah.
sometimes you got to be like, well, my opinion is just as right as yours might be.
you
So-
are right from your side and I am right from mine.
Right, so it's tricky. It's like I'm not right all the times, but maybe I'm right this time.
I mean, yeah, like if there's that's just
And I think
that's just a harsh reality that you got to deal with people. Not everybody's going to like you.
right.
And
But is the solution always just to remove yourself from that situation?
yeah, honestly,
There's no other solution.
because like if they're not,
Can't talk through it, huh?
it's like yeah, like if there's people that just, I mean, sometimes those situations result from misunderstanding, and resolutions can come, but sometimes there's just situations where, like, no matter what, a person's always going to find something wrong in you, and it's like, well, I'm just doing me. I'm just trying to do right by myself, and if nothing I'm doing is what you like, then, you know, fuck you. I'm going to go
But it's hard
just
when
move on.
It's hard when you're not confident in whatever the thing you're doing is.
That is true.
Because then you're like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm also right, you know?
Yeah. Like, you're just trying to do right by yourself. And as long as you're doing that, like, you're going to be okay. But
What about, like, Hitler?
All right. Okay. All right. We are out of tape.
That's it?
Yeah.
We went through the whole thing. You'll have to, we'll have to get some sort of transition I can cut to so we can do, like,
Well, audio's still rolling, man.
Oh, audio's rolling, yeah.
we're rolling.
I'm going to put the picture of the bird up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, put the bird up.
Okay, the bird's up there, and then we'll cut to... So, we'll cut to this. Ran out of tape, guys. We ran out of tape. This is a budget issue. It's a budget again. It just keeps coming up. We were just getting into Hitler.
It always boils
we were
down.
just getting into Hitler.
Money
just getting
being the root of all evil.
So you guys got to donate down below to the thing. You got to give us the thing, and then it'll be good. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut to a performance from Nate. We're going to get Nate to do a performance, and we're going to record it. And this is sort of the situation where we were like, you do a performance, and we record it.
Okay. let you stay alive. That's it. Wow. Thank you. Thanks, man. You know, it's a good tune to me.
get the freeze frame? Can you get...
I don't. Wait, hold on. Actually,
Do
just
the-
hold it. Oh yeah, I don't think I can do
This is
it.
a budget problem again. I don't know.
We got a budget thing going on.
Yeah, the other camera does it, but this one doesn't.